Hey, everybody, welcome back to the NALC Branch 458 podcast. Sorry it's been so long. Life happens and just haven't had an episode in a while, but we're getting back to it. I'll start out this episode talking about a little bit of things coming up, just a few things, and then I'll read the newsletter, the Sooner script that will be hitting your mailboxes very shortly. But the penalty exclusion period. Is from November 30th through December 27th this year. Um, Look out for leave draw starting soon. That varies depending on your LMOU when it's going to start. Here in Oklahoma City, it begins December 20th. So look for that. Our branch is currently selling the color coded calendars. If anyone wants those, or if you haven't received one yet, they are $5 a piece. We sell those to benefit our scholarship foundation that we have at the hall, branch 458 memorial scholarship fund. So all the revenue we receive from the calendars goes directly to the scholarship fund, and those calendars make some good Christmas gifts for your T6 or your regular on your string. So there's a tip for you there. Those are for sale here at the hall, or ask your steward about those $5 a piece. And then I know everyone's tired of hearing about it, and we'll hear a little bit of something at the very end of this episode about um, the flexible spending accounts. Eric Robinson is going to talk about that a little bit. But the open enrollment for PSHB, Postal Service Health Benefits, is right now. It closes December 9th. So make sure, if you haven't already done it, go on to opm.gov. If you're doing it on a computer, the very top right corner of the screen, as soon as it loads, it says, "Are you a postal employee?" And you just click on that, and it'll directly direct you to where you need to go to make sure you're enrolled in what you want to be enrolled in. Because we're transferring from the federal health benefits program to the postal health benefits program, postal service health benefits program, it is a different process. But to verify you're in the correct plan, the plan that you want to be in, or if you're enrolling for the first time, you have to go through opm.gov. It will direct you to login.gov, which is a secure website, and you can set up an account through them and sign up for your health benefits. So, everyone do that, and don't wait until the last minute, because there are some people having trouble getting into the opm.gov through login.gov. So I know it's a little bit confusing. For some people, like myself, I went right through. It took me about 10 minutes. But for some people, it's taking some time because it's not able to verify their identity, or they're having trouble scanning their license for that same process. So make sure you get that done, and don't wait till the last minute, because if they do have to mail you something, it could take up to 10 days to receive that. And I think we only have 13 or 14 days left whenever this episode comes out. So open enrollment closes December 9th. So having said that, I will get into the Sooner script. And like I said, it should be hitting your mailboxes soon. I think it was mailed out today. So you're getting a sneak peek at it. So the front cover, Branch 458's annual holiday dinner. Come one, come all. This year's holiday dinner will be December 12th at 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Union Hall. Bring a side dish or dessert. Bring your family. Bring your favorite joke. So that's always a fun thing. Please come. It's always great to sit there and talk to your coworkers, and we all share in some holiday dinner. Page 2. In memorandum, Larry Gene Wilder, November 25th, 1935 through August 10th, 2024. Larry Wilder was born on November 25th, 1935 in Norman, Oklahoma, to Leonard and Marie Wilder. He passed away on August 10th, 2024 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Brother Larry led a full and vibrant life characterized by hard work and dedication. He, dis- He dedicated over 30 years of his career as a postal letter carrier and spent more than 45 years as an umpire and referee for baseball, basketball, and football. Later in life, he became a successful property owner, managing up to 15 single family rental homes. He is survived by his son Michael, daughter Jennifer, and grandson Dustin and Dakota Phillip. He was preceded in death by his son Mitch. Larry also leaves behind his grandchildren, Cliff, Donna, and Diana, and played a significant role in raising Diana's children, Christina and Amanda. Larry lived his life with enthusiasm and took great pride in all that he has accomplished. And there's a link there for his obituary. If anyone would like that, it's in the newsletter, or you can view that online at NALC 45 branch458.com. So that's NALC branch458.com. At the bottom of page 2, you'll see a photo from the informative tentative agreement meeting that we had here at the branch hall on November 7th. It reads, "It was a packed house at the informational seminar on the tentative agreement on November 7th. Thank you to all the members who took the time to attend. Note, regardless of your position on the tentative agreement, Branch 458 is encouraging all eligible members to exercise your vote in the upcoming ratification vote." So everyone, please vote. You should be getting those ballots soon. Just vote whichever way you wish and get that back in the mail. That way that your vote counts. Page 3, special recognition. So top left, there's a picture of Bob Bearden receiving the Leslie Benson Brown Union Award at this year's Oklahoma NAACP banquet. Brother Bearden was awarded this award for his service to the community. He was recognized partially for being the person, along with 3 other individuals, who helped start the annual Letter Carriers Food Drive as the chair of our food drive in Oklahoma City area in 1993. He was also recognized for his work as one of the leaders of Mayflower Church 363 group that fed the homeless and working poor at the Homeless Alliance for nearly the last 25 years. Well done and congratulations on this esteemed award. The top right, there's a photo of Bruce Kavner and Johnny Bell, were both this year's recipients of the Branch 458 Lifetime Achievement Award. The bottom right of page 3, Brother Ralph Yost poses with his whopping 60-year of membership plaque. So congratulations to all of those members. On pages 4 through 13, you will read bylaws amendments, and those were read at the November branch meeting. They will be reread at the December branch meeting, and they will be voted on whether the membership will adopt those or not. So please read all of those and be familiar with them. If you come to the December branch meeting and enjoy everybody's company at the luncheon or the dinner that we have, the potluck, stick around for the meeting and we can vote on the bylaws for the branch. Allow me to start with this is not an opinion of the contract that is before us to vote on. Hopefully, when you read this article, the vote will have already been counted. This article is more about our attitudes when it comes to things like voting for a contract or dealing with situations that happen on the workroom floor. There is an old adage with those who traverse the mountains or trails that goes like this: leave the trail better than you found it. The idea is that people who will follow behind you will enjoy the benefits of your effort and returned in kind for those who will follow them. Then, if you happen to travel the trail again, it will have been made better for you also. You see, it is not about the individual or the whole, but about both. So if our union, you see, is the union like the body, what affects one part affects the whole. One part is not more important than the other, and the whole is not more important than the individual part. For example, the brain might argue that it is the most important part because it guides the body and all of its functions. This would be a logical conclusion. This would be a logical conclusion, And as long as every part is functioning properly, it would even seem to be true. The fact of the matter is that this is not true. For example, if the intestines argue that they are the most important part and become clogged or entangled, to prove the point, then the body will become septic. The brain can do nothing to correct this problem, and if the functions of the intestines is not restored, the body will die. Now, which is the most important part? You see, neither part is more important than the other, but each part serves a different function and purpose in the body for the benefit of the whole. It is the same with our union. Each member has a function, but not all functions are the same. All members pay dues, which benefit all as it allows the whole to work for the benefit of each individual. Some, not all, are called to donate to the political fund, which allows for the influencing of those outside the body for the benefit of the body. As individuals, we may not agree with politics and those being influenced, and so we are not called to contribute, but we are also not called to criticize those who are called to contribute, because it is for the benefit of all. Some are called to be mentors for the benefit of those who are new to the union. Some are called to be stewards to serve the members of each local portion of the whole. Some are called to be officers in the local, regional, or national levels of our union, which benefits the whole as well as the individual in ways that are too numerous to expound on in this article. The problem arises when selfishness, not thankfulness, influences the functioning of the members. Selfishness neither benefits the individual nor the whole, but is detrimental to all. As in the example of the intestines, selfishness is if left unchanged, will influence and be detrimental to the whole as well as the individual themselves. Selfishness is natural and does not need to be learned. You can watch the action of any child and see this to be true. Thankfulness, on the other hand, is learned and is beneficial to the individual as well as the whole in ways that cannot be illuminated in this article. If you try being thankful in all things for a month, you will prove to yourself the truth of this maxim. Some have criticized and complained about the proposed contract, and it appears to be for reasons that only benefit them, not necessarily the whole. It appears that because they are not reaping the benefits from one portion of the proposed contract, they cannot see the benefit of the proposed contract as a whole. If this is true, then I believe this to be very short-sighted and selfish attitude that neither benefits the individual or the whole. For example, when I began my career with the USPS, there was no benefit for penalty overtime, or VPay, or a 12-hour limitation to a workday for regular carriers, and no 11.5-hour work limitation for part-time carriers. 70-hour work weeks were the norm. But now, we all have these benefits, as I had benefits that those who came before me did not have. I have benefited from those who have walked the trail before me, as they did from those who walked before them. Each of us benefit from those who walk the trail before us. This is the proper functioning of a union. This is not about the members functioning separately or selfishly for individual benefits, but rather the members functioning as a whole for the benefit of the individual in light of the benefit of the whole. For that, I am extremely thankful. I would implore you to take the time to research how our union came to being and all of the suffering and fights that were made to bring us to the place we are today. Now, if you have made it to this part of the article, you will probably have one of two reactions to it. You will either be considering your part as a member of this union and how you function in it, or you will be upset or angry at the ideas set forth in this article. Each member is the only one that can determine which way they will function in this whole. As for me, I will choose to try and see big picture and many benefits that this great union has achieved for me and individuals as well as the members as a whole. I will try not to focus on the few benefits that I may have wanted to see accomplished that for now could not be, for I know this to be true. A thankful heart is a healthy heart. Let us endeavor to make the trail better for all that will walk on it. Bruce. Page 16. Letter Carriers Annual Leave Savings 2025. Greetings. This is a sheet to help you get the best use of your annual leave by minimizing your annual leave usage while giving you the most days off for what you use. 5 to 1 means you get 5 days off by putting in for only 1 day of annual leave. 7 to 3 means 7 days off for 3 days used, etc. Based on your color coded calendar, if your day off is on the holiday, then the previous working day is your holiday's off. Keep in mind that when you take annual leave in conjunction with your non scheduled day, management cannot schedule you to work your non scheduled day. So if you follow this page down, it will list each month and it will give you, for example, it says January 20th is Martin Luther King. If you are green day off, you can do a 5 to 1 and take the 16th or the 21st off. If you are color blue, you can do a 7 to 3. Green is 11 to 5. Red, 4 to 1. You can take the 18th or the 22nd off. Brown, you can do a 4 to 1 and take the 17th or the 21st off, and all others are 8 to 4. So just kind of compare that with what color day off you are. Look at a calendar. So what it's saying is if you are green and you take off the 16th or the 21st, you can get 5 days off with only using 1 day of annual leave, because whenever you schedule annual leave, management cannot schedule you to work your non scheduled days if it's in conjunction with your annual leave. And then, of course, you get the holiday off. And what it mentioned earlier at the top of the page, if your holiday falls on your non scheduled day, your holiday is moved to the previous day. So, an easy way to remember that for me anyway is your non scheduled day never moves. So, like this last holiday, let's say it was um, Veterans Day, was on November 11th. That was Blue Day off. So, because it fell on Blue's Day off, November 9th would now be Blue's holiday because the holiday gets moved to the day before. So go through there. You can read those. And as you're doing your leave draw, you can compare and try to maximize your time off with minimizing the days of annual leave you use. This article, which was originally published in the Centennial Branch 5996 newsletter written by Pat Penzini. Color-coded calendars are on sale from your stewards or at the hall for $5. All revenue from the calendar sales goes towards the scholarship fund. Thank you for your support. On page 17 is the NALC Branch 458 Scholarship Program. In accordance with Branch 458 NALC bylaws and the provisions of the Branch 458 Memorial Scholarship Program, below is an application for scholarship. It must be returned to the Branch 458 Scholarship Committee no later than December 31st, 2024. The form must be signed by the member's parent or grandparent and a branch officer before it is turned into the scholarship committee. It will be the responsibility of the applicant or the parent to complete and return the form. Please mail this application to the address below to ensure confidentiality. And it can be mailed to Branch 458 Memorial Scholarship Committee, Branch 458 NALC at 221 South Eagle Lane, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73128 4209 is the +4. So go into the newsletter, page 17, to get an application for the scholarship program. On page 18, you will see scholarship news. Thanks to the following Branch 458 members who donated to the Branch 458 Memorial Scholarship Fund: Bob Bearden, Steve Riggs, Eric Bew, Ken Mayfield, Donnie Velasco, Philip Holloway, and Rusty Garner. And a special thank you to Joe Smith, who made a very generous donation to Branch 458 Memorial Scholarship. Below that, there is a slip that you can cut out, although it is not necessary if you would like to mail a donation for the scholarship fund. Conversions: Juan De La Rosa, Oklahoma City, Midwest City. Kenneth Fields, Oklahoma City, West Side. Robbie Bungarter, Ardmore. Xavier Brewer, Oklahoma City, Martin Luther King. Membership report. And below that, it lists a lot of names. I'll try to read these. Sorry if I mispronounce any of them. It's Jacob Bates, Martin Luther King, Aaron Davis, Oklahoma, Pin 89, Tammy Davis, Davis, Oklahoma, James Drain, Ardmore, Miranda Gaither, Ardmore, Robert Gregory, Midwest City, Joshua Islis, Oklahoma City, Martin Luther King, Jared Kerr, Pin 89, Seth Morrison, Pin 89, Nicholas Nolan, Edmond Centennial, Donovan Pickett, Edmond Coffee Creek, Andrew Price, Southwest, April Post, Southeast, Gordon Pyle, 39th Street, Max Rayner, War Acres, Brenna Robinson, Edmond Coffee Creek, Jared Rosel, Ardmore, Christian Russell, Oklahoma City, Moore, Nicholas Samsel, Chartel, and Gabriel Solis, Sulphur. Page 19, you will find our December birthdays. So look on that calendar to find if there's anyone in your office and wish them a happy birthday. And then on the back page of the newsletter, as always, there is a table of contents there that kind of helps you see what is inside of this newsletter. There are the meeting, who was present at the meeting, what our officers were present. All officers were present for the last branch meeting. Some upcoming events. Stewards training is always the first Thursday of every month. So our next two stewards trainings are December 5th and January 2nd. Those always begin at 6:30 and they go to 8:30. The second Thursday of every month is our branch meetings, and those begin at 7:30 and they end at 8:30. Our next two branch meetings are December 12th and January 9th. So again, we have our December holiday potluck that begins at 6:30 on December 12th. So I hope everybody is there. And that's it. So the next voice you will hear is Eric Robinson. He will be telling you a little bit about the Flex spending account. So stick around for that. Everybody enjoy your holidays. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Hello, everybody. This is Eric Robinson. Casey asked me to come on the podcast, and since it's open season, which ends December 9th, there's a new option with our Flex spending account, and that's one of the benefits we can sign up for. And Casey asked me to come on the podcast, talk about it for a little bit, share some information, and so that's why I'm here. For anyone that doesn't know, a Flex, well, it's a flexible spending account, also known as FSA, is a pretty nice benefit. It is convenient. It saves you money. And basically what it is, it's an account that you set money aside into in order to pay for eligible medical expenses. Now on healthcare.gov, it gives kind of a more detailed definition. I'm just going to go ahead and read this on here. And so it says, Flexible Spending Account, FSA. This is an arrangement through your employer that lets you pay for many out-of-pocket medical expenses with tax-free dollars. Allowed expenses include insurance co-payments, deductibles, qualified prescription drugs, insulin, and medical devices. You can use it for many over-the-counter items, crutches, Tylenol, feminine hygiene products, a whole list of things. You can also use it to pay for dentures, eyeglasses. Got to go get a tooth pulled and you get a bill, there at the counter at the dentist. You're able to pay for it with your Flex spending account. And then what occurs is at the end of the year, if you haven't used all your Flex spending account, this year you're allowed to carry over up to $640 to spend for the next year. And so the way that this works is you go to Light Blue. Once you log in the upper left-hand corner under Employee Apps, you tap that. Then as you scroll down, you'll see in red, it says Flexible Spending Account. When you tap that, it's going to redirect you to a site by a company called Inspira. They're going to be the new people running the flex spending account for us. And then you'll create a username and password and security questions and whatnot. Once you log into that, there's a section at the bottom for frequently asked questions. And I'm going to go through that here in a minute. I've used Flex Spending Account the last several years. I think I've used it every year I've been at the post office. Before I worked at the post office, I had an employer that provided it, and I used it there. The way that it used to work is you would pull, let's say, like $2,000 out of your check to go into this account. So what would occur is you take $2,000, divide it by 26 pay periods, and then what would happen is $76.92 every check gets pulled out before your tax. And that's a huge thing because depending on your tax bracket, that's going to automatically save you between 15 and 30%. And so it pulls it out pre-tax, divides it over every pay period, and then it goes into a fund. And so you have 12 months to use the money that's in there. So at the beginning of the year, when I take my daughter to go get her eyeglasses, the frames, the eye exam copay, everything involved with it, let's say the bill ends up being, $100. If I initially had $1,000 in my flex spending account, all throughout the year, it's going to pull that small amount each check out. But as soon as January 1st hits, I have all $1,000 available to me in advance, tax-free. So I'm at that eye doctor, I get a $100 bill, I pay for it with my flex spending account. I now have $900 left to use throughout the year. Now, in the past, flex spending account for postal employees, you would do the transaction and then you'd have to submit a claim to get reimbursed for it. Now that they've switched over to this company Inspira, they're offering the option of a MasterCard debit card to directly pay for these items out of that flex spending account balance. Now, Inspira also has a mobile app so that throughout the year you can go on there, you can see what your balance is, you can look at past transactions. Now, for anyone that does sign up for this and decides to use the card, you want to keep every receipt for items purchased and just stick it in a drawer at home, because if Inspira questions any of the purchases, they may notify you that they'll need proof that it was eligible, and you would upload your receipt through their mobile app to be able to verify that. Now, the maximum contribution that you can make to your flex spending account is $3,300 this year. Each year it kind of changes and goes up in amounts and whatnot. So let's say hypothetically, if somebody decided to have $3,300 contributed to their flex spending account, that would result in a payroll deduction pre-tax of $126.92. If you did, let's say $640, and if you can hear those dogs barking, I apologize. If you did the $640, then every pay period it would be $24.62. So that's kind of the rundown of what a flex spending account is, how to get signed up for it. I would highly encourage everyone to think about it and think about what your medical expenses are going to be over the next 12 months, for you and anyone else that's covered on your health plan. And then what you do is you take that estimate, and then that's how much you would select to have pulled out for this, flex spending account. Last year, I pulled out, I believe, $1,300, and I ran out in August. So this year, I'm probably going to bump it up just a little bit more. But it's super convenient. I love the tax savings because it kind of makes my dollar go further. And then having the app where you can kind of track it throughout the year is really convenient too. And another benefit, other than it being tax-free, is all that money is available at once to you. So, let's say you have to have a surgery or a hospital visit. Maybe you got your $350 deductible. Maybe there's a copay of, $250 for the hospital, and then the physicians and surgeons, cost as well. all that, instead of you having to pay for that directly out of your own bank account, all that money is there for you in your flex spending account because you're getting that deduction every pay period throughout the year. And so definitely a benefit with that so that you can, not have to front all those expenses all at once out of a check. It can kind of be spread out for be more convenient. So that's kind of the ins and outs of the flex spending account. If you go on healthcare.gov, they have more information about it. You can also Google a more comprehensive list of eligible expenses to use for your flex spending account. After listening to this, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to shoot Casey an email to the podcast email address. And I'm not the same location as Casey is right now. I'm recording this from my home, and I can't think of the email address, but I'm sure Casey has it, like on the podcast description. Shoot him a message over there, and then he can get that to me, and we'll definitely answer your questions as soon as possible. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and thanks everybody for listening, and y'all take care. Bye-bye.